What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Holly. We're talking about nutrition for new runners today, how to eat for optimal energy without unnecessary weight gain. A lot of new runners constantly are talking about feeling like a bottomless pit. They can never get enough food, and eventually they start to hover in that area of, am I actually undoing all the results I got from running in the first place? We're gonna cover it all today. I've got tons of tips for you, really tangible things you can start doing today, and a good way of looking at things so you don't get too stressed. Let's jump in. And an important disclaimer here, guys, I am not a doctor and I am not a registered dietitian or licensed nutritionist, meaning I am speaking today from experience, myself from many years of running, and also my experience with a lot of my clients who are new runners. Just clearing that up before we start. So who I'm most excited for as I make this video is those of you guys who are experiencing an active lifestyle for the first time after living a very sedentary one. It's gonna be so many good changes that you're gonna experience. Of course, you'll have the soreness, you'll be tired, etc. You'll be starving at times, but you are gonna finally understand what we mean when we say food is fuel. I know that sounds made up, especially to those of us who struggle with a lot of food chatter. We're constantly feeling guilty for eating something if we're not gonna burn it off, or eating out of emotion, or because there's a highlight in the day created by food if we're otherwise unhappy. You get what I'm saying. This is going to be the first time where you have a regular workout routine. You can count on the fact that you are making a conscious decision to burn calories, to actually burn off what you're eating. What happens when we start to eat in a way that fuels us, that actually provides us energy and doesn't create a crash later on or a stomach ache, is we start to understand why certain foods are better for our bodies. And it doesn't feel so mathematical or having to be researched or on a diet or anything like that. It just starts to all mesh and work together. So I'm really excited for you guys to feel this. Your body is the car, the food is the gas. You put it in so that you can go do your workouts and stay regular with them. Now, we understand the basics of calories in, calories out. That's how we gain or lose weight. But the other factor here is fatigue and stress. So as we add workouts into our weekly routine that might not have been there before, we are gonna feel that on our body. We're gonna need to match that. And I really wanna stress the importance of sleep right now, because if you're eating perfectly but still not getting a ton of sleep, the stress reaction to your body, hormones, cortisol levels spike, we cannot really operate and function at our full capacity. And that can affect how we're burning calories, how we're showing up for those workouts, and just our general fatigue can make us make worse decisions when it comes to what we're eating. So it's really important, guys, that all the stuff we're gonna lay out today is also accompanied by good sleep and really focusing on your recovery. You will notice a world of difference between getting sleep and not getting sleep. You of course know that, but even more so when you start running. So now I'm gonna hit home some big points for you, things that I think are really important. If one of them helps you, great. If all of them help you, even better. First things first, guys, take everything on the watch with a grain of salt. I know it's so fun to have the metrics, the data in the beginning, writing everything down in your log, putting into MyFitnessPal, etc., especially if you're on a diet plan of some kind. But just remember that the watch is doing its best, but it doesn't have everything really factored in, as well as like a blood test would. So age, gender, muscle composition relative to fat, type of workout you're doing, how your heart performs, if you have underlying conditions, all those things go into technically calculating how many calories you're burning. So I just mean, if your watch tells you you burned 420 calories on that run, if you were to go eat 420 calories, and of course, who knows what foods make up the 420 calories, it's not an even cancel each other out type situation. We can't count on that. So that might seem obvious to some, but I have also worked with a lot of people who really take it at face value. Just know it's accurate in a lot of types of things, but it's more supposed to be for a big picture and to show you if you burned 420 on a 1 hour run today and you burned 530 on a 1 hour run tomorrow, maybe you were working harder or running faster tomorrow. Just use it for that, but don't be so married to the numbers. All right, guys, so number 2 is gonna be our best success comes from being the most prepared. If we can set ourselves up for a stable day of energy without any huge plummets or crashes, we've done really well. And this really starts the night before. So for example, if I'm gonna go do a workout in the morning, maybe not first thing in the morning, but around 9 a.m. or so, it really does matter what I ate for dinner the night before and if I had time to digest so that I slept well, right? All those things kind of spiral into the next. So if I eat a good meal, nice and balanced, of course, carbs, protein, fat, veggies, everything, and then I have time to digest and then I go to sleep, and I pair all that with really strong hydration. I'm really keeping that water intake up. And if it's summer, keeping the electrolytes going as well, I am gonna wake up feeling ready to go for that workout. To piggyback off of that, If you're going to be out there for longer than an hour, I really recommend bringing calories with you. A lot of new runners feel weird about this because the whole point of running for a lot of us is to lose weight or burn calories. So why would we bring some with us? The thing is, going back to my original point of even energy throughout the day, if you go out for a long time and you might not feel hungry during the run, right after the run, you are going to have a really small window before you are ravenous and looking for anything in sight. Ultimately, if we don't have the energy because we're tired from the run and we're depleted, we are going to eat anything we can find and we're probably going to overeat, ultimately undoing a lot of the results of the run. Whereas, had you just had about 100 calories at the hour mark to take you to 90 minutes or 2 hours, there's a lot of nutrition fueling tips related to long running, which we won't get into today, but if you sustain it a little bit more throughout, you can finish the run, maybe have a little snack or a protein shake, do your stretch, your shower, etc., and you can carry on to make your healthy meal, whatever that was going to be at the time it was going to be at. Your day still stays your day. We don't need to go and make up for everything we feel right at the end of the run, and that is a lot easier to do if we create an even energy source throughout the run. The next point I want to make, guys, is that a lot of your nutrition decisions, types of foods and drinks you're having, start to just all go hand in hand with your running, which is really nice. It all really works together. You're going to naturally start to want to eat the things that keep you fuller for longer, that fuel your runs better. Same goes for drinks. You want to set yourself up to feel the best if you're going to be running day after day. It's just a natural progression in this, and it should be something you should feel really proud of. It all of a sudden starts to do the work for you. You don't have to get so specific with it. For example, if I have a glass of wine or a beer before bed, I'm not going to sleep as well, and my run's going to be shittier in the morning. If I didn't have that, I get better sleep, maybe replace that with more water, more electrolytes. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have maybe a faster pace on that run, feel a little bit lighter on my feet. Same thing goes for types of foods you're eating right before a run. I probably won't go grab a donut before my run if it's going to make my stomach hurt and I'm going to feel hungry 20 minutes later. I would go for something a little bit more dense, high fiber, that's going to help me feel fuller and more sustained throughout the run. This next part's really important to me, guys. Some of you write into me about gaining weight during your run training program. 3 months into a marathon program, you are gaining weight on the scale and you're wondering why. You went from burning everything every single day, losing pant sizes, etc., and now you find yourself gaining weight, uncontrollable hunger. Well, there's a lot of give and take when it comes to adding something so big and new to your lifestyle, and we have to address it all. Number one, if you're getting on the scale every day with a specific weight loss goal, it's really important that you work with a doctor and or nutritionist to ensure you're doing things properly. I know that sounds like such a generic thing to say and everyone's like, check with your doctor, etc., but there's a reason for that. Based on your composition and how your body operates, you want to know what calories in versus calories out will your body be able to handle sustained throughout several months of training. If you don't know that and you don't know what to cut per day, it's going to be very difficult to go off of feel, especially if you're going for a large weight loss goal. Those things are just really done much better and more effectively with professionals. But if you're getting on the scale every day just out of kind of vanity or just you want to just see the number go down, eventually you'll hit a plateau to some extent because your body has figured out a way to sustain what it's been doing. And that's kind of how plateaus get built. But I want to remind you guys, how you feel and what you look like to yourself are great ways to care about your body throughout running. I go off of how my clothes fit, how I feel about myself in the mirror, and overall my energy levels and my output when I go work out. If I feel sluggish and I feel like I can't really sustain a normal pace, what would normally be an average pace, if I feel like my pants are tighter, my face looks puffy on a daily basis, I'll start to then ask some questions. Am I making the right choices for my current output? Could I stand to eat a little bit less and still put out the same energy, and maybe it will lighten me up a little bit to feel best in my workouts? It's a give and take, it's a balance. If you're adding in strength training, you've never done that before, a lot of your guys' fat is now turning to muscle, which is more dense. A lot of times we do gain weight by the scale, but we look better. We're actually more slim and we have less fat in our body. But all these things need to be taken with a grain of salt, and we have to look at our overall goals. I constantly am just going off of how I feel and what I look like to myself, but if I can sustain my training throughout. If you're gaining significant weight, it's just good to look at what stresses are happening to your body. Again, hormone regulation, are you sleeping enough water, maybe you need to switch up diet in some way, types of foods are resonating with you better than others, etc. Time of year can make a difference, but don't just go strictly off of, oh my gosh, the number on the scale went up, everything's for nothing. Go off of what you're actually seeing in a whole progress photo. The main point here today is that I want you feeling your best and I want you finishing so strong over that finish line. I don't want you guys getting injured or overtraining or burning out because you're doing everything so intensely day after day. I want this to feel sustainable for the rest of your life. Even if you're not training for a long specific distance, the marathon, half marathon, whatever, you should be building a lifestyle that you'd be proud of and capable of living even 20 years from now. So really check in with yourself there. I really want you guys to stay on top of mobility. Make sure you're stretching even 2 minutes before and after your workouts. Tons of ideas for that on the channel here. It's really important. And how you fuel and how you do everything, sleep, everything, managing your confidence as you go throughout, that's gonna be the biggest boost to keep you motivated to keep going. It all has to feel sustainable. Never forget that. I'm so proud of you guys for even watching this video all the way through, for keeping motivated through your run training, and please let me know what you want to see next. I'll see you guys. Bye.